Hi guys, this is Rajesh from RD Education Services. So far, we have discussed export promotion schemes, includes duty exemption scheme, deemed export proceeds, advance authorization, and last but not the least, duty-free import authorization scheme. Now, I'm going to discuss about duty remission scheme in length. What is duty remission scheme? What it includes? Duty remission includes duty drawback scheme. Various schemes like EOU, SEZ, DFIA, Advance Authorization, Manufacture Under Bond are available to obtain inputs without payment of customs duty or obtain refund of duty paid on inputs. So sorry. Suppliers who are unable to avail any of these schemes can avail duty drawback. Here the custom duty paid on the input is given back to the exporter of finished product by way of duty drawback. Section 75 of Custom Act 1962 provide for drawback on materials used in the manufacture or processing of export products. It may be noted that duty drawback under Section 75 is granted when imported material are used in the manufacture of goods which are then exported, while duty drawback under Section 74 is applicable when imported goods are re-exported as it is. An article is easily identifiable. As per Rule 2A of Custom and Central Excise Duty Drawback Rules 2017, drawback in relation to any goods manufactured in India and exported means rebate of duty excluding IGST and compensation cess, chargeable on any imported material or excisable material used in the manufacture of such goods. It is important to note that duty drawback is only the custom duty. There is no duty drawback in respect of GST. Duty remission is also guaranteed under GST law. Now let's discuss Chapter 2. With respect to reward schemes. Okay, reward schemes include your MEIS, SEIS. I'm so sorry for this technical snag. Let's discuss Chapter 2, that is reward schemes. Reward scheme includes your MEIS, SEIS, and status holders. Reward schemes are the schemes which entitles the exporter to duty credit scrips subject to various conditions. These scrips can be used for payment of custom duties on import of input or goods include notified capital goods. These scrips are transferable, that is, they can be sold in market if the holder of any duty credit scrip does not intend to import goods against the scrips. Goods imported under the scrip are also freely transferable. Following are the two schemes for export of the merchandise and services. Merchandise export from India scheme and services exports from India scheme. MEIS and SIS. Now I'm going to discuss MEIS in length. Merchandise export from India scheme. The objective of MEIS scheme is to promote the manufacture and export of notified goods or products. Let's discuss about reward under the scheme. Under MEIS, export of notified goods or products to notified market shall be eligible for reward at the specific rates, unless otherwise specified. The basis of calculation of reward would be on realized FOB value of the export in free exchange, on FOB value or on FOB value of the export as given in the shipping bill in free foreign exchange, whichever is less. Now I'm going to discuss about ineligible categories which comes under MEIS. Some export categories which are ineligible for duty credit scripts entitlement under MAS are listed as supplies made from DTA scheme to SEZ unit, export through transshipment, that is export that are originated in 3 countries but transshipped through India, then deemed export, SEZ, EOU, at ESTP, BPT, FTWZ products exported through DTA units. Export products which are subject to minimum export price or export duty. Export made by the unit in FTWZ. Now let's discuss about SEIZ in detail. The objective of SEI scheme is to encourage export of notified service from the India, which includes your eligible service provider. A service provider located in India providing notified services rendered in the specified manner shall be eligible for rewards at the notified rate on net foreign exchange earned, provided in the minimum net free foreign exchange earning for such services provider in year of rendering services. Services basically include your tradable services covered under General Agreement on the Trade in Services, that is GATS, and earning foreign exchange. Service provider means a person providing supply of services from India to any other country. Supply of a services from India to service consumer of any other country. Supply of service from India through commercial presence in any other country, or supply of services from India through the presence of natural person in any other country. Now let's discuss about ineligible categories under supply export from India scheme. Let's start with the foreign exchange remittance. Other than those earned for rendering of notified services which won't be counted for entitlement. Thus, other sources of foreign exchange earning like equity or debt participation, donation, receipt of repayment of loan, and any other inflow of the foreign exchange unrelated to rendering services would be ineligible. Now let's discuss about calculation of entitlement under this scheme. First, let's start with foreign exchange remittance. Foreign exchange remittance, which is related to financial service sector, raising of any type of currency loan, export proceeds, realization of clients, issuance of foreign equity through ADR, GDR, or any other similar instrument, issuance of foreign currency bonds, sale of securities and other financial instrument, and other receivable not connected with the service rendered by financial institutions. Or second thing which I'm going to discuss is earned through contract or regular employment abroad, which includes your example can be a labor remittance. Now start with the second part, payment of the services received from EFC account which are ineligible again under this SEI scheme. Foreign exchange turnover by the health care institutions like equity participation, donation. Foreign exchange turnover education institution like equity participation or donations. Export turnover relating to service of the units operating under EOU, ASTP, STPI, BPT service schemes or supply of services made to such units. Clubbing of turnover of services rendered by EOU, ESTP, STPI, BPT unit with turnover of DTA service provider. Foreign exchange earning for services provided by airlines, shipping lines, service provider flying from foreign currency X to any other currency, any other foreign country, Y routes not touching India at all. Service provider includes your telecom sector as well. So these are the services which are not entitled for the scheme. Should not be account for calculation of entitlement under the scheme. Let's discuss about common provision of the export from India. First, drawback. Let's discuss about drawback first. Basic custom duty paid in cash or other debit under the duty credit script shall be adjusted for duty drawback as per the DOR rule or notification. Duty credit scripts shall be permitted to be utilized for payment of custom duty in case of import of the capital goods under the lease financing. Incentive of MEIS, SEIS are available to units located in SEZ also. Now I'm going to discuss chapter 3, which is nothing but it's a status holder. What is status holder? Status holders are the business leaders who are excelled in international trade and have successfully contributed to the country's foreign trade. All exporters of the goods, services, and technology having an import-export code number shall be eligible for recognition as a status holder. Status recognition depends upon the export performance. An applicant shall be categorized as status holder upon achieving the export performance during the current and previous 3 financial year. Now let's discuss about points which merit consideration while computing export performance for grant of status. Export performance will be counted on the basis of FOB value of export earning in free foreign currencies. For deemed export, FOR value of the export in India rupee will be converted in US dollar at the exchange rate notified by CBIC as applicable. 1st April of each financial year. For guaranteeing status, export of performance is necessary in at least 2 out of 4 years. For calculating export performance for grant of 1-star export house status category export by IEC holders under the following categories shall be guaranteed double weightage, which includes your micro, small and medium enterprises as defined in Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise Development Act 2006. Then manufacturing units having ISO. Then unit located in northeastern states like Sikkim and Jammu Kashmir. Units located in agri export zone. Export performance of an IEC holder shall not be permitted to be transferred to any other IEC holder. Hence, calculation of export performance based on the disclaimer shall not be allowed. Export made on the re-export basis shall not be counted for recognition. Export of items under the authorization including ScotMat items would be included for the calculation of export performance. Now let's discuss a privilege which an status holder can enjoy. He is authorized. The status holder is authorized. He do have authorization and custom clearance for both import and export on self-declaration basis. Fixation of input-output norms on the priority, that is within 60 days for a norms committee. Exemption from compulsory negotiation of documents through banks. The remittance receipts, however, would continue to receive through bank channel. Exemption from furnishing of bank guarantee in schemes under FTP. 2-star export house and above are permitted to establish export warehouse. 3-star and above export house shall be entitled to get benefit of accredited client program and as per guidelines of the CBIC. DGFT has issued a notification on 27th October 2018, which has provided that status holders shall be entitled to export freely exportable items on free of cost basis for export promotion subject to an annual limit as below, which includes your annual limit of 2% of average annual report realization during preceding 3 licensing year for all exports, or annual limit of rupee 1 crore or 2% of the average annual export realization during preceding 3 licensing year, whichever is lower. So thank you boss listening to me. Please subscribe my channel. That give me inspiration to make more presentation or more knowledge based contents with you. Thank you so much.